Time for you to go beast mode. King of the jungle, cause you're in animal. Time for you to go overload. Eat your competition alive, cause you an animal. What's my competition? Only me. Go head to head with my enemies and smashing the smithereens. Calisthenics burning calories. Bring that fire ready to blow up. Now we're the kerosene. You're a fighter, you're a fighter. Never gonna give up, never gonna back down. Get up, get up, get up, get up.
Welcome into the Friday Night Blitz, week 3 of high school football, week 4 of the time that we've done the Friday Night Blitz. A lot of fun action going on, as always, and it's the final week of non-conference games before conference play gets started.
That's right. Time flies when you're having fun. We spent all summer slogging away going, football season, it's around the corner, it's coming, we promise. And now it's here, and non-conference play is in the books, but it went out with a bang. We'll start with our game of the week. 2 small schools, but a game that doesn't get much bigger than this. A lot of teams decide to take their bye week this week because they want the bye before conference play gets going. I talked to Carlisle's head coach, Gary Wilson. He said they did the opposite. They specifically took their bye last week to prepare for the game against Des Arcs. So you know that this one is big between 2 of the best teams in the 2A. This one at the home of the Bison, and they're going to be the first action in this one for us. Bentley Parker makes one guy miss, gets a nice block, bounces off another tackle. Oh man, that's not how you treat a Bentley, but he does well. Get inside the red zone, and Carlisle going to keep the drive going. Jaden Elliott now with the pass and catch, gets it down inside the 10, down to about the 5-yard line, and you're driving down I-40, you pass the Remington factory, and here it comes, Remington Geclair in for the touchdown. Carlisle up a score early, but he seems to go back and forth for a while at least. Des Arcs' Jamie Collins, he knots this game up in the early going. We're all tied at 7 apiece, but yeah, Des Arcs, something to cheer about. Look at that crowd. It was a rainy day in Lonoke County, and they all still made the trip. Here's Baylor Hawk, though, stretching across the line, carrying guys for the go-ahead score, and Carlisle doesn't look back. They turn on the burners, 45-22 the final.
All right, North Little Rock searching for their first win in nearly 2 years. Tonight, hosting the Catholic Rockets of the Class 6A. Early first quarter action, charging Wildcats, backed up inside their 10. That doesn't matter to Christian Reeves. 93 yards to the house. Goodbye. The speedster finds the end zone for the first score of the game. He can just jog at the end of this. 7-0 North Little Rock next possession. Catholic needing a response, and they get it here from Phillips Blair, keeping it himself for the score. The quarterback ties the ball game at 7, where some offensive highlights be without a little defensive love from the charging Wildcats. Marcus Hayes slinging Blair to the ground. That gets the ball back to this high-powered offense that looked good tonight, especially running. And this is the play of the night from Reeves, hurdling the defender. Refs goes flying, doesn't matter. North Little Rock scores the touchdown. They retake the lead 14-7. Don't count out the Rockets, though. Blair goal line again. Blair scores. It's a 1-point game at halftime, but the 7A team, North Little Rock, maybe a little more depth in the end. They dominate the final 30 minutes. How about this? North Little Rock gets the win 42-13, a signature win, the first win of the Brad Bolding era, back again at North Little Rock.
All right, we got a trophy on the line tonight. It's the Cantrol Cup between Baptist Prep and Episcopal Collegiate. Yeah, I guess they both are on Cantrol. It's a curvy long road, that one. This one going down at Baptist Prep, and here comes Levi Sanders bouncing outside, finally taken down inside the 40, and now the Eagles go to the air. It's Shep Garrison with the sideline snag, and then coasts his way past everyone into the end zone. It's 7-0 Baptist Prep. Check out the light show they got going on there now. To the second quarter on the goal line. Big Austin Herring in. It's 14-0 Eagles. Baptist Prep looking like they can run away with it, but Turner Harbor gets the low snap, rolls to his right, finds Jacob Martin all alone, and look at that, Eagles staying a little grounded, 14-6. We got a 1-score ball game, but Baptist Prep goes back to the ground. It's Sanders plowing ahead, carrying guys. He would have taken the whole team with him if they gave him a chance, and now Herring gets the chance to finish off the drive, takes the catch in the flat, in the 4-6, and from there it's just all Baptist prep, 55-14. The Cantrol Cup staying down Ranch Road.
You're watching Friday Night Blitz on THV 11.
All right, we love it from the fans and cheerleaders. Little Rock Central on the road facing Rogers Heritage. First drive of the game for the War Eagles. It stalls, but how about the deep field goal from the War Eagles? They take the lead 3-0. Later on, Little Rock Central, Bryson Kennedy struggling to begin this game. Give some credit to Heritage. They're coming up close, but they fumble the ball. Little Rock Central comes up with it. I mentioned Kennedy earlier. He got sacked a while ago. He doesn't get sacked here, rolling for his life and finding his wide receiver, Stewart. That's Ray Stewart. He strolls into the end zone. Tigers take the lead. Next possession, Heritage on the toss sweep. I don't know where the ball went, but somehow the Tigers end up with it. Little Rock Central, the scoop and score, or the pick six. I don't know how it happened, but what I do know is that Central got 6 points, 6 points added to their grand total of 46. How about the win for Central, 46-24. They get a flag for that excessive celebration there, but a big win on the road for Little Rock Central.
Love to see the Tigers go to Northwest Arkansas and take care of business. We're going to take care of some business now. On the other side, though, a huge 5A, 6A matchup. Benton and Parkview plus more when the Blitz returns.
You're watching Friday Night Blitz on THV 11. Go Eagles!
Welcome back to the Friday Night Blitz. My name is Nick Luttrell, joined alongside sports director Tyler Cass. Tyler, for our game of the week, it was 2A. It was small high school football, which is really exciting. We had some bigger football coming up next with this next game.
That is true. We always have conversations about what is and isn't the game of the week. Desart Carlisle, very deserving. We also probably could have gone out to Benton, where they're hosting Parkview. Those are two teams with their sights set firmly on winning not just conference titles, but state titles. That's where we found Carter Thweet.
Parkview at Benton. Both these teams with big losses to Bryant this season, but don't let that fool you, because these are two really good football teams. Here's how it all went down.
Benton and Parkview in front of a packed house on Friday night, and I was really impressed by Drew Davis early, slinging it all over the field for Benton. Impressed by this guy too, Will Carter, taking it into the end zone for the early 7-0 lead for the Benton Panthers. And so Parkview's going to need to score, but this is not the way to do it. Fake punt goes nowhere. So Benton takes over. Guess who Drew Davis is going to hit? Will Carter once again, who almost hits me, but he doesn't. And then I can just keep saying the same thing for these whole highlights. Drew Davis to Will Carter. It's 14-0. Benton is rolling early. Now Parkview would get it down to the 20-yard line, but this is going to be no-fly zone for the Benton Panthers. Incomplete on 4th down. And then Benton's going to run a flea flicker, pulling out all the stops. This is not Will Carter, but it is John Curtis Barger, giving the Benton Panthers the 21-0 lead. So then they're going to do an onside kick, because I guess that's what you do when you're up 21-0. Major Holloway recovers that one. Seconds to go in the half. Drew Davis is going to find Corey Anderson, saying we don't need field goals. 28-0 Benton. Now Parkview would make it a little closer in the second half, but ultimately they fall 31-14.
Carter, thanks so much. Carter was so cool. He went to another game for us. This is Carter Thweet's footage here at the Southwest game as they're hosting Fort Smith Southside. Second half action is where we started for the Mavericks. Blake Forsgren to the Terrell Warren to gets the first down for the Mavs later on. Punching it in, 28-0. Southside taking the lead, I guess continuing to submit themselves as the dominating team in this game. But Southwest, I should say, not going away anytime yet. Second half, that's not quite a touchdown there, but they're trying, and then they do get a touchdown. Derek Vassar with the quarterback keeper, and then it's Robert Cooper who would take it in, cuts the deficit down a little bit. The Griffins, they hang around, but not enough. Southside gets the win, 35-20.
All right, down the road to Mills. The Comets playing host to Blytheville in a first half where no one wanted to hang on to the football. Blytheville going for a screen, but Corday Ratliff reads it perfectly. Turf Monster, the only thing that stops him from taking that in for 6. Here comes the Mills offense. They get set up with some good field position, and then a Chase Slater catch, going to get them even better deep into the red zone, but the very next play. Looking, trying to make something happen with the legs, but instead, the ball's just stripped away. Blytheville with a chance. It could go to the ground. All right, it's not going to be quite I wouldn't even call that a scoop and score, a rip and score. I don't know. We don't have to come up with it though because he didn't score. And then a couple plays later, this is the final play before half, taking the shot at the end zone, but Torrance Talbot comes down with the interception. This game was 6-0 Mills at halftime. The Comet turned it on in the second half. 42-7, the final, Mills on top.
All right, the Class 4A will stay. Harding Academy on the road, trying to pick a big win. And that is the powerhouse of Elkins. Elkins with a hot start. Connor Ham with the score there. That would make it 7-0. Elkins Wildcats on the offense now. Nathan Corbett dropping back. The Wildcats get the ball back, but that would be kind of the story of the night for the Cats. Moments later, again on the offensive possession, Corbett rolling. Corbett finding the guy from the other team. Jake Ketcher catching it. And, well, it was going to be a pick six, just like what we saw earlier in that other game, but not quite. Moments later, defense didn't get the touchdown, but the offense sure did. Ham again hammers his way into the end zone. Elkins dominates 44-14.
All right, you want to see any of those highlights or see any score from any game around the state? Here's all you got to do. Text the word SCORES, SCORES, to 501-376-1111. We'll send you a link to see all the scores and highlights from the Friday Night Blitz tonight. That's good to know. I'm making that trip tomorrow morning. I just might wear some shorts.
Yeah, safe travels for you.
And it's a trip, of course, that Arkansas, even though they haven't played Memphis this century, they've made that trip, I think, 4 times now, twice in the last 5 years.
Yeah,
they're pretty familiar with that stadium.
They've had a lot of success playing in that stadium, playing and winning in the Liberty Bowl. We saw it this past December when they beat Texas Tech. So hopefully it's repeated success against a Memphis team again. That they have the better players. Arkansas has the better players, but when it comes down to execution, can they do that to get the win? We'll find out.
My favorite fun fact that I've seen so far is Taylon Green has thrown more touchdowns in that stadium than Memphis's quarterback.
That's true.
And that says more about Taylon than it does that, just because of how good he's appeared in these bowl games.